Good morning, everybody. It's a vlog day and it's a very, very exciting one. It is, whoa, cross-country schooling all three of my horses. We've already taken Maggie, she went yesterday, but now both of the boys are going out today. Goodness me, let's go. Goodness me, that was fun. We have 2 ponies on the back of the lorry. So we are meeting a lovely girl called Jess there. Jess is borrowing Titan to do her B test on, so she's getting used to him and riding him once a week at the minute while we get ready. And then I will be riding Donut, and this is going to be Donut's first time seeing cross-country fences since Norton Disney last year. But while we get there, I'm going to let you go and have a watch of some clips of Maggie at cross-country schooling the other day where we went to Barrowcliffe. See you in a bit. We're starting in the lorry because it's been a bit of a manic rush around, and I am going to have to help Mum in just a minute because we need to find our location, and apparently it's not helpful when I turn around and say it's down here somewhere. Well, I think it's at that yellow thing. And I'll speak to you in a sec.
Stumbling out of bed, and I still got you in my head. From all those pretty words you said, it's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am, it's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it.
Right then, we're here and it is super duper busy. Everybody's obviously very keen to get out cross country on grass. We are at Barrowcliffe cross country course, aren't we, Mum?
Yeah.
And we come for a cross country lesson with Tina, who I did a vlog with when Donut went jumping with her. Tina hasn't seen Maggie since before her being poorly, so that's quite exciting. And by the looks of it, there looks like there's loads of new jumps. There's a lovely interspace on the mound there.
And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you out of my mind. I will follow you wherever, and I won't waste it. Now, cause I don't wanna slow this down. My heart is screaming out your name. I'm wasted on you. Here we are, right underneath the stars. So let's get a little reckless. You make me breathless, and I won't waste this. And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you out of my
Hello then. As you can see, we've just had a little work in and a warm up. I had a nice blast around some of the fields, and then we're just having a pop over a few fences, just jumping from a rhythm. As you can see, it's fairly busy. This is mostly our group that you can see. So there was 4 of us in total. Tina is the one on the dark bay that's just popped over the log with V-rails. And then there's 2 people who were with her, the person on the chestnut and another lady on the bay, and me. So then you can see I'm just coming to pop up this line up the hill. I'm still being careful with my turns because we haven't put stud holes in yet, so I couldn't stud her up and it was a bit more slippery there. But as you can see, she was a real keen bean and enjoying herself popping round, and I think I just had a little walk now at this stage. Look at her happy little face. Oh, spooky fence. Oh my god. She's so funny. She'll jump it all day long, but you ask her to walk past a fence and she spooks, which I found amusing. So again, that's Tina just popping over the interspace fence. And I think I decided I'd come round and have a little pop over this skinny and this little ascending rail, which Maggie's just like ears pricked. So easy, super duper straight. And really good. So the rest of the group are heading off to play with ditches, which I was going to go catch up with them, but I wanted to pop over the interspace fence first. So here we go, up, little pop over, down, and I thought, oh, I'll add the little baby skinny on at the end, which really didn't cause Maggie any trouble. So after a play at the ditches, we came and popped over these skinnies up the hill. So we just had that little tentative chip in stride, and then I sort of pulled my socks up and got my act together and rode more forwards. So then Tina said, come again and attack the first one and then be more careful over the second. And I think that was a much better way of going about it. And you can just see that you can then sort of just sit quieter and avoid the chance of a run out at the second part. So then we went into this next field along, which has some bigger fences, and Tina just strung a few fences together for us to jump. She went and popped them first, and then we went round and had a pop over them afterwards. So we popped over this chair. And again, I just started a little bit tentative and then gave myself a kick up the backside and jumped this skinny much better after the first fence. So then we're coming round here to a table, not insignificant in size. Maggie locks on, easy to pop over, lovely. And then I'm just starting to get into more of a flow now and finding it a bit easier as the fences start getting a little bit harder, so that's probably good. Pops over that skinny as if it's absolutely nothing. And then we've got a little bit of wiggling about to do, which I was just very cautious with because I didn't want to make her slip, given we haven't got any studs in yet. But we did a little turn back on ourselves to this corner, which I made sure was nice and square, so she was straight and in the middle. She saw it clearly and did a lovely pop over it. And again, it's almost a bit of a serpentine back on itself, because then I'm coming on another loop back round to pop over the slightly bigger corner with a brush on top. And again, I just wanted her in the middle and nice and straight. And she just did a lovely little self-preserving stride and popped straight over it, which was really great. So then we were on to popping another little course of fences that we strung together. And Tina was currently jumping around it as I speak at this stage. And I'd just gone and started getting myself ready so that we didn't waste any time. We're starting off with the sort of green astroturfy topped house. And I thought I really don't want another tentative jump for my first jump. And I thought that was a lot better. I sort of got in there and rode. As you can see, I had to turn fairly quickly because I knew I needed to jump this house. Then it was dog leg to this interspace fence, which rides so nicely, guys. And then a bit of accuracy and not sort of getting away from it afterwards in order to pop over that fairly upright skinny, which I thought was quite big. But Maggie was just there like, hold my beer. I got it, mum. And then popped straight over. So then we're coming around here. House roll top skinny, jumps the house beautifully, locks onto the skinny. And then at this stage, I'm going, oh my God, that skinny is so skinny. And you can see Maggie's face. She just did not read it. And to be honest, I was sat there going, I don't even know if we can fit through that. And Tina goes cantering over to me, bless her, and turns around and said, oh, did you not notice I didn't jump that one that we discussed in the end? None of us had realised just how skinny it was when we were stood in the middle of the field deciding the course. And she said, it's way too skinny for this time of the season. We've not been practising anything like that. Don't even worry about it. Just go around and pop the other skinny that was on a dog leg instead, the slightly bigger one, because there's just no point even trying to do that this time of year. It's not Maggie being dishonest or me not riding well enough. It's just not where we're at with our training yet, and nor was Tina's intermediate horse. So we then came and popped again, and Maggie was like, thank you, mother, something a little bit more reasonable to pop. Then we got a little bit of an S-bend and we came to this white table, and I really used what Lucinda Green had been showing us with our lesson before, of if we're going to come in and get in a little bit close or need to wiggle about and needed to steady down. I'd finally got the knack of just slowing down but hugging her with my legs. So we actually got really close into that white one, but you would not have a clue, to be honest. I don't think you can tell from the video, because I managed to master that give her a hug while she gets in and assesses and sorts herself out. So she still has a lot of power in the canter. So that was a really nice moment to realise that it all clicked. Oh, and I've just added this slow-mo in of Maggie because I just love it so much. She's making such a nice shape. And watch her little ears as she assesses this. So we'll watch that again. It's really important when they start moving up the grades, and this is something I'm learning about because I haven't moved up beyond 100 before this year, hopefully. When you start getting to particularly intermediate, potentially novice, depending on how hard the track is, the course designer will start making you adjust your horse between the fences a bit more. So they'll give you a big open fence like this interspace fence, and then they'll make you have a bit of a pimple or a bit of an upright skinny that you've got to be able to sit back and go steady at. You may get away at it, flying forward at it, but if you want to ride it really well, you should be able to ride forwards for the open fence and then bring your horse right back to you, which I was so proud. Maggie actually brought herself back a little in order to pop the next fence accurately, and that's what she did. Maybe slightly close in, but it made for a more careful jump, so I was very proud. Okay, so we're on to playing in the water. We had already been for a canter through at this stage. And look, Maggie did that little assessment again, you know, a bit like in the Lucinda Green where she just wanted a little bit more time, and I managed to hug her and keep the energy in there while she added her extra little stride. So it made for a good jump rather than the awkward jump. And then she was able to pop over, assess, see that there was water, and still jump nicely without scaring herself or having to scramble or be hurried. So we're now coming back round to the two houses in a row, and the second house is much closer to the water, so I know that I need my shoulders back and leg on to make sure that she carries on attacking, and she did that beautifully. Keep the power up through the water and straighten us over that sort of skinny part of the boat, and she did great. So we've got to bear in mind when we're jumping out of the water that the water saps the energy from them. So once we're in, that's when I really put the leg on. So then we're trying to simulate going cross country. So we're not jumping and stopping, we're stringing lots together, and we are popping over a course. So I went for a bit of a blast between the boat, then came back to this house and popped into the water, and I tried to steady the canter down, but Maggie was still bold, and I knew obviously she'd already seen the water, so I just sat back and she popped off the drop fantastically. You wouldn't believe that this mare was a horse that when she was 4, I used to have to get rescued because I'd get stuck the wrong side of a puddle. She hated water so much. She certainly isn't like that now. So I'm very hopeful for this year where if we have any drops or jumps into the water, fingers crossed we should be able to boss them. And I went and played with the steps. Mum didn't quite catch all of it, but we did go up and down the steps a few times before doing this little bit of an accuracy exercise. And again, you can just see she comes up over the slope. You can just see her face assessing everything, which is fantastic. And then we're coming down to a little bit of an arrowhead, which obviously we had a little bit of trouble with last time we went cross-country schooling, but she found easy this time. We also popped over that chicana that was in the background just there and finished off with an owl hole, and Maggie's ears flicking back as always, but she jumped it a lot better this time, which was good. She only flattened her ears but didn't flatten her jump, so I was very happy with her. Right then, we're home. I've just dropped Mum off at home and done our usual routine of bringing the lorry back. God, I'm pooped yet again, although I know why it is this time. I am so hungry and I've got to go turn Maggie out quickly and head off teaching straight after this. So I think I'd best go and raid the snack drawer in the lorry. You can see our little cupboards back there. I have a big old basket of snacks. I'm just praying that I've not raided it before now, because I'm really hungry, and if not, I need to go and grab something at the shop very quickly on my way to teaching. So I best crack on and get darling Maggie unloaded. She has been so good. She was just so chill, just like canter up, pop the fence. Tina was actually there riding a horse, and then there was a few of her other close clients. It was like a private clinic rather than one of the big advertised ones, and we just went and had a nice little ping round everything, like an early schooling joyous session. So I'm feeling very excited for Maggie's first event now. She's been so on it. We chucked in a couple of like little extra bits and she was just like, yep, that's fine with me, come on, bring it on. And there's been times where we were just jumping and she just went a bit steady. I just put a bit of extra leg on, and you could almost just see in her, she was just going, I'm just assessing it, mother, and you're not going to hurry me. And she just knew that she could just add an extra stride and was fine with it. So overall, excellent session. I went a little bit cold, but it was sunny at the start. And then I'm just thinking, I don't think we've got much left before our first event. We're a couple of weeks away from our first event, but there is not much left. And yeah, very excited. So I'll go get her sorted out now. There we go, all sorted, all rigged up. It's really cold. It's lovely now, big bright blue sky, but really cold. You good girl. She's a very good girl. Right then, let's link back to Tights and Donut.
I promise that I will stand by you forever, and I won't waste this. I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah. I'll follow you, yeah. Yeah, I won't waste this.
Right then, here we go. The two boys on tour. So Jess and I went for a little bit of a warm up. We're at Field Farms Canter Track, which is really super facility. That means that you can practice speed training, and it's like a big gallops, and then there's little areas with extra fences around the edges you can see here, so you can actually practice getting up to pace while on a surface. And it's also, I popped my watch on. We didn't end up doing any speed training in the end, but it's quite handy because they've got the distances mapped out, so you can put your minute markers in and check that you're traveling at the right speed for your level. I will be doing a vlog on that very soon anyway, on speed training. So Jess and I are having a lovely canter. I'm chatting away to Jess as we go. The boys look happy as Larry, and doesn't Tighty look cute in Jess's matchy yellow set? So here we start having a warm up. Now we've got to bear in mind, lovely Jess has ridden Titan 4, maybe 5 times. And in that time, she's jumped a cross pole grid and a couple of little pole jump poles. So this was a big ask for her, coming out and jumping cross country. So I really wanted her to take her time and get used to it and give both her and Titan a chance to get used to each other. But aren't they doing great? Look at them go. And Titan looks like he's loving life with Jess. So Donnie and I are having a little warm up over these houses, and bear in mind he hasn't jumped a cross country fence since October, and he was just so game and looking so classy. So there's also a little bit of water to play with at Field Farm, and I thought they were a little bit cheeky in that the smallest fence you could only jump coming towards the water. So we had a little bit of a paddle first, and then Jess did a fantastic job of riding Titan, keeping her shoulders back and her eyes up as she cantered and popped the fence and then came into the water. I thought she did so well with this. Okay, so then it was time to go to the next area, which had a few more combinations, and Jess popped over this round top lovely, and it was time for her to come and pop over a skinny. Bit wiggly to those log piles and then flies over the skinny. Wasn't she great? So then my turn to go and jump a skinny, and Mum sent us off to go jump this one. And I actually really kicked myself about this because, you know what? This is Donut's first cross-country schooling since October, and I think because he was feeling so classy, we just got a little bit carried away and just started sticking him at stuff as if he wasn't as green as he is, and I feel like I sort of set him up to fail a little bit with this. And realistically, I should have built it up a little bit more. So we stopped him with flyby and then went and built it up as we maybe should have in the first place. But it was also, looking at the silver lining, it was a good chance to assess where he's at, and he's still green with skinnies, but that's okay. And when he came to jumping it the next time round, he was like, yes, I've got it, Mum, I remember, and absolutely flew over it like the classy little thing he seems to be these days, bless him. So now I'm ready to start stringing together a few more skinnies, and we've got a bit of a curve, and Donnie's going, I got this, Mum, I know what I'm doing, let me at it, let me go, and really enjoying himself. So I was really pleased with him doing that. And then we can have a little bit of a look at it closer, and you can see where I'm just asking him to turn and assess, and he's just locking on. You can see where his ears flick back as he listens. I'm trying to make sure I look after the outside shoulder as I turn, and he just seems to be really switched on and on the ball. So Jess's turn to do a line of 3, and she's going to jump down these here. Good jump in, keeps her legs on, keeps her eyes ahead, and Titan's like, yeah, let's go. And then pops the third, lovely. I was so proud of Jess because from what she's been doing, she's then just tackled this, and I think this is the biggest she's jumped cross country wise, and she's then come along and started giving me a lead because we remember Donut didn't like ditches last year, and he popped through lovely. He then didn't really want to go and jump it without Titan giving a lead, and Titan was stood back there, hence him trying to run back to his new bestie. But I turned around and said, no, matey, you really do have to do this all by yourself and be a brave boy. And he said, okay. And he then had to do it again and again and again until it was just a chill. And then we went and did the bigger one, to then go do the bigger one and jump the little pimple skinny. And then Jess went and did it, and Titan's like, here we go, I love ditches, come on Jess, let's jump the skinny, and really enjoying life, I think. So we then finished off by going and jumping a little bit of a course together as a pair. So Jess tagged along behind me with Donnie, and we went and jumped over in that other arena, and then this is us finishing off sort of our loop round. We'd been through the water and then just came and jumped these bigger houses, and look at how uphill and excited Titan was, and she just looks like she's loving life. well done, Jess. Really, really well ridden. I can imagine Titan felt quite frisky cantering along behind Donut. He quite enjoys being up front. And then just to finish off for me, I just wanted to pop over a couple of the skinnies in this area. And you can see we're coming towards the end of our time because the following people had come on. So I came round to pop over this double brush just to double check that we'd put to bed that little run out, and then popped a corner, and then that sort of simulated chicana, and Donut was just like, yeah, easy, mum.
Wake up 2 p.m. I don't know where we are. Looks like a cheap motel with our clothes on the floor. I don't know how we ended up here. And we've been flying high. Are we going too far? I got no cash left and I'm losing my job over you. But I don't care about that. But I got you close and kinda hoping that one day we'll get the rhythm of it. Yeah, 'cause no one knows if we're just jumping out the window, try to cling on to it. You got me holding on to something I know I can't burn me down, but I don't care about it, 'cause I got you close and kinda hoping that one day we'll get the rhythm of it.
Right then, that's us home. And Maggie back reunited with her bestie. She did start kicking off once he got home, and I only had a limited of time before she decided to jump out the field, I reckon. But we managed to avoid it. Do you want some treats? Good girl. Good girl. I'm so pleased with that. I'm really pleased. Both boys were wonderful. Titan did a lovely, lovely job of helping Jess around the course and showing her the ropes. And that was Donut's first cross-country schooling. So I'm really pleased. I should have got Jess on the camera before we went, but completely forgot. But you will be seeing more of her. I thought she'd managed really, really well. And yeah, that's the first time Donut and Titan have been out together, and I thought they behaved very well being out together, particularly unloading this end, because obviously we're just me and Mum at this end, and we managed to unload them perfectly calmly one at a time, which is it's an achievement in my book. Right, we're off to go have breakfast. We've probably got to call it brunch by now, and then we've got a cleaning job on with the lorry, haven't we, Mum? Yep. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.